To start recording. But yeah, today I was gonna stream some Sims, but it's update day and I play with mods, so you know what that means. Game is broken. So yeah, we're just gonna play a bit of Contexto on stream for a little bit and just yap, honestly. So yeah, this is my last stream before going on holiday, last stream of August. After this stream I'll probably be live either on the 4th of September or the 7th. We'll see. I'll announce it that week probably. I'll announce it closer to the day I'm actually going to be back. You know what I need to do? I need to put my stream schedule on Twitch into holiday mode. So that people can be hey, no, that I'm on holiday. So yeah. And also it's a Tuesday, which is a weird day for me to be live. I'm just gonna switch to this screen for everyone who wants to play some Contexto. But yeah, it's a weird day for me to be live because usually I don't go live on Tuesdays, to be fair. When I was dog sitting for my sister, I went live on 2 Tuesdays. One stream was fine, I think. But then the next week, my electric went off midway through stream, and then I was just I just picked up stream again. But yeah, so yeah, it's a weird day for me to be live. I could have gone live earlier before the update went out, because the update went out. I think. Well, I updated my game at probably almost an hour ago now. So yeah, I updated it. And then I went back into my game, hopefully it being oh, it's probably gonna be okay, it's probably gonna be working. But then I tried to go into a household. I tried to go into a Henson household. It did not work. And then I tried to go into the household we made a few weeks ago, the Nutella household, me and then my PNG tuber. And then my Minecraft skin. That did not work. That did not work. So yeah, I'm gonna wait until there's a few fixes. So yeah, once we come back off holiday, I'll probably get back into playing in my sim save file. In the Henson save file. But yeah, it just was not working at all. And I was do I want to make some more Sims on stream? And I was no, not really. So yeah, I was I'll just play something else. I looked through my Steam library, there's not really a lot I want to play in my Steam library, because Dark Deception doesn't work, so probably Dark Deception and Monsters and Mortals will probably not work that well. I already said that I'm going to do Untitled Goose Game after I come back off of holiday. So yeah. And then I'm going to do the rest of the achievements for Untitled Goose Game after I come back off holiday, because there's 5 more. And so I'll probably try and do at least 1 achievement per stream, because it's you have to speedrun them. And it's the speedrun achievements, so those are going to take a while to do, funnily enough. And then I don't want to just suddenly start another Cabernet playthrough, and then it's oh, I'm not gonna be live for the next 2 weeks actually. And then I get back into September, and then it's oh, actually I'm gonna be playing more. I'm going to be playing Untitled Goose Game on Thursdays to get those achievements done, and then stop towards the end of the stop before we finish the second Cabernet playthrough to then do Rusty Lake October. So yeah, well, it'll probably be Rusty Lake and Stardew October, because I don't wanna just be like, sorry Sage, we're not gonna do Stardew this month, after then not being able to stream for like the stream for 2 weeks. Like end of August, like for middle of August to the start of September. So yeah, it'll probably just be Rusty Lake and Stardew October. But probably mainly Rusty Lake, because if 1 week Sage can't Stardew for whatever reason, then we'll just do Rusty Lake stuff. So yeah. And our current top 5 for Contexto is Brain, Bone, Head, Skeleton, and Dead. So I'm just gonna keep typing in random words related to this. I typed in doctor before and it was red, it was not right. So why did I type in radiology? And I typed in scan, but it just didn't work. But yeah. So I'm not gonna be able to stream for 2 weeks because my dad is going to go. It has to go away. It has to like work away somewhere else for a while, so he won't be home for like the next week and a half. So I'm just gonna stay at my mum's for the next week and a half, and then we're going on holiday next Saturday. So yeah, and I'm slightly stressed because my manager hasn't put out schedules, and I have booked it off for next week. I think, is it next week? Yeah, I booked it off for next week when I go on holiday. But my manager hasn't put out the schedules for the start of September. So yeah. So yeah, I've literally just got 1 shift actually scheduled in for the moment, and that's on Saturday, which is the day before my like holiday leave for work starts. But that's not when the actual holiday starts. By the way, I go on holiday next Saturday. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna book like a few days before in advance, just to. Is it next Saturday that we go away? Actually, it's the 30th that we go away. Yeah, next Saturday. So I was like, I'm gonna book like quite a few days in advance, just to make sure that like we're all sorted and shit. So yeah, and yeah, I have no idea what this could be. So I'm just gonna start typing in random shit. So yeah. But yeah, again, I was gonna stream Sims today, but yeah, update day. So Sims was like, nope, we're not gonna work with mods. So yeah, and plus so it's like, there's no real point in me trying to play that household, because that household has a lot of custom content in it. So it's like a lot of the stuff is just gonna be like ripped out of the house if I do try and play it, So yeah. What could this be? I'm just gonna write in a bunch of stuff. So yeah. But yeah. Brain, bone, head, skeleton, dead. Wait, zombie. Did I already do zombie? Eat. That's so close. Mouth. Food. Meat, chicken, beef, cow. The cow's far away. What's other meat? Mutton, bacon, pork, ham. We've got pulled pork as well. But yeah. Okay, what have I done today? Oh yeah. I did some is that how you spell poultry? Is that, I don't know how to spell poultry. There we go. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you, Nature Person, for the raid. Hello. Hello, welcome on in. How you doing? How's your stream? How's it going? Yeah, how's it going, everyone? Hello. It's a stream raid, I think. Welcome on in. How you doing? Nature? Today we're just playing some Contexto on stream. It was alright. I'm glad it went alright. But if any of you guys who just came from Nature's Raid do not know me, hello, I'm Poppy Nutella. I'm a variety streamer. I play a lot of different games, including Minecraft, The Sims 4, Cabernet. I streamed 10 of the Ace Attorney games last year. I also play the Rusty Lake games, and yeah, so yeah, thank you for coming by. Thank you for the raid, Nature. I was streaming Alice Madness Returns. I love that game. I streamed that game. I also streamed that game like 3 years ago. I love that goddamn game. I've been meaning to replay that for a while. But yeah, that is a good fucking game, man. That is a good fucking game. Love it. Which part are you up to? Which part of it are you up to? Since what chicken? Maybe feathers. But yeah, it's a good game. So yeah. It's really sad. I'm in the samurai village. Oh. I quite like that area, actually. Though they're kind of making my way to the second sacred cavern. Ooh. I'm guessing you're not. Have you gotten to the part where you actually go into the paintings and do the little 2D section? I don't fully remember which part. The 2D paintings. The first one, yes. Okay. Those, I kind of like those. They were a little bit of a pain to get through, but like those little puzzles there, those were pretty good. Those were pretty enjoyable. So yeah, I quite liked it. And you passed the underwater section, which is my least favorite section, just because of those goddamn ghost pirates. Those were a pain to get rid of. I remember those guys just being such a pain to get rid of. So yeah. And I remember, oh god, which part was it in? I think it might have been in the was it in the dollhouse? I'm gonna look up I feel so bad for Lizzie. I do too. We love Lizzie in this household. But yeah, she just deserved way better than that fucker, that guy, that fucking, what's his name? It's blanking on me what his name is. But he is just such a shit guy. She deserves better than to get Bombay, that was his name. And the last section of the game actually represents what Bobby did to the kids. Yeah. The kind of like the dolls, yeah. The last section of the game, kind of like the dollhouse section, kind of makes it really explicit as to like what Bumpy was doing, cause in like the previous sections of the games, in the previous section of the game, you just had like those little sections where you'd go into the door and then like have like a brief memory of what happened during the fire, and then you'd also have the other memories, but like the collectible memories are like obviously missable. So like you could go the whole game without really having a full understanding of what happened during the fire up until the very end, up until the dollhouse, and what specifically like Bumpy was doing. Like not really having for most of the game, you might not have a great idea of what Bumpy was doing to like Lizzie and like the kids up until the dollhouse, because you might just miss the collectible memories. So yeah, strip their clothes, break them down, then he sold them as prostitutes. Yeah, he did, which is, yeah, I hate him for that. I just fucking hate him for that. Like, he is. I just want to punch him in the face. I just want to punch him in the face, and he's already, he's already dead. So, yeah. I mean, it was common during those times. It was, yeah, which is such a shame. But like, it was so shit. It was just like, it's so like deprived, I guess, for him to do that. I can't remember it being historically accurate. That's the sad thing as well. It is like historically accurate for just like children, like orphans, to be just sold. He's kind of profiting off of the orphans like trauma. Because he literally tells all the kids like, hey, just forget your memories, forget everything. And then he takes those kids and like just makes them blank slates, pretty much. He doesn't even like strips them down like mentally, and then just like sells them off. So yeah, I'm so glad that like he actually like got killed, because like there's probably not a lot that, I'm not sure how much could have been done in those times, like legally. So yeah, it really is sad. I can't wait to kill him twice. Yeah, I'm not sure what would have been able to be done during those times, like legally. So yeah, it was just absolutely horrific. So yeah. He's just a horrible fucking guy. He's just a horrible fucking guy. And it is also such a shame that EA like refused to like fund and help make Alice Asylum, because I am like so wondering what the story would have been. Wait a minute, I'm gonna look at this up. Let me move this over to here. You might still be able to play Contexto. Let me see. Alice Asylum Design Bible. Let me have a look. Let me see. This is a PDF. Let's see. Okay, can I get this? The Design Bible. Can I now open this? Let me download it. Download anyways. Hello, Saya. Welcome on in. Okay. It's gonna take a while. No, it's only gonna take a minute for the Design Bible to download. How you doing, Saya? How you doing? Yeah, I just want to have a quick look through what the concept of Alice Asylum would have been, because I don't think I've had like a thorough look at what it would have been like in a while. I haven't even looked at the Design Bible. I've only I've seen a few bits from like American McGee's social media, and I know there's someone on TikTok that's trying to make a fan game for Alice Asylum. Can I open this? Okay. But yeah, I haven't fully looked through the Design Bible yet. I'm still working, so half paying attention, but I wanted to throw in some Contexto guesses, I suppose, though. I'm glad you're here. And oh, for fuck's sake, it's not. The Design Bible is not loading. This is stupid. Okay. Oh wait, now it's loaded. Okay, this is 200 pages. Okay, I'm gonna put up another window capture how do I play this? You just type in a word in chat and then it'll come up on the screen. It'll come up on this page here. I'm gonna add in another window capture. Just to look at the design Bible while, if you want, you guys can go play some Contexto. Yeah, like that. Okay, so this is, I'm gonna move this over. I'm gonna move this over right here, and then just have the design Bible here. Let me move this like that. Let me do this. Just so you have a little bit of a better view. I know it's not great. This is probably the best. Yeah, oh wait a minute. 2 minutes. I could just extend out my tab. So yeah, this is the Alice Asylum design Bible, and it's above my PNG tuber. I'm gonna quickly move that there. So my PNG tuber is actually above it. So yeah, this is the design Bible. Let me keep on resizing. I'm gonna just keep on resizing it so that you guys can get a bit of a clearer view of it. But yeah, this is the Alice Asylum design Bible. The pitch. Okay, what's this? So I can't even fucking read that. Wait a second. I don't know. Is Contexto gonna work? Cause I have this open. I'm gonna move this to. Now that works. I'm gonna move this to this screen. Now can I open? Please let me. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'll move this over to this screen, and I can probably just zoom in actually. Zoom in. Okay, that's 250% in. I don't need to be zoomed in. It's not urgent. I should take like around 20 minutes to finish work. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, this is. Can I move out a little bit? Okay, zoom a little bit more in. Okay, so yeah, okay, this is the design way. Okay, possible weather changing. DLC is possible and encouraged, and mods are encouraged as well. Okay, what's the story gonna be like? Let's see. So this is just talking a little bit about Alice. And then this is supposed to be some of her designs. So this is supposed to be this one here. It's supposed to be like a stereo mode, I guess. Which I like. I like that kind of carrying over some concepts from Madhouse Returns. Oh yeah. I'm glad they didn't make this game, but also sad because I don't want Alice further traumatized, but also want to get a new game. I do want a new game as well. And fun fact, okay, so she has brown hair here, just like in the original Alice, because in the original Alice, she did have brown hair, but in Madhouse Returns, she has black hair. And I think that was supposed to be more consistent, I think, with... I remember McGee making a video on his YouTube like a while ago, kind of announcing, hey, EA's not gonna make this, I'm retiring for game development kind of video. And I think he talked about why her hair was kind of planned to be brown in Asylum and why it's black in Madhouse Returns. And I don't remember why. I can't remember if he said in the video that they originally planned it to be like brown, and then changed it to black or what, I don't know. We've got some alchemy, so we've got lithium, iron, Jupiter, Saturn, and then we've got Sagittarius, Cancer, Taurus, and Sun. Which makes sense because of the symbols that Alice has on her dress. But yeah, I do wish there was a new game coming out. Though there is what's this section? There is someone on TikTok planning to make a fan game based on this design Bible. So yeah. So this is supposed to be this. I remember that this game was supposed to be based on the, like, was it the 7 stages of grief or something like that? So we've got first the slumber. Players are frightened 13-year-old Alice running through a moonlit, snow-covered English garden. This is the slumber, a manifestation of Alice's childhood memories. It serves as the first tutorial for basic movement, walking, running, climbing, and jumping. There's something very odd about its size and form. The moon then turns to reveal a menacing face. Eyes locked on Alice. It howls and pursues her. We play as it draws nearer. It sings an ominous lullaby. The tune, once heard, forces forest creatures to slump on the ground. Alice is unsure if they are dead or sleeping. She runs. Okay, that's just like based on. That's just based on. What was I gonna say? This is where you'll learn that the movement stuff, yeah. And then this photo here, just like kind of her like guilt after the fire, because like she believed for a long time that the fire was like her fault, even though like kind of not like her fault. She believed it was her fault, and then she was like, and then it was kind of like, oh, the blame is really on the cat, who I cannot remember the name of. So yeah, it's all believed to be Alice's fault until we realise, oh no, Alice actually brought Dinah. Yes, Dinah, thank you. But it was like, well, no, it wasn't the cat's fault. It was really Bumby's fault, because Alice had brought up the lamp and like put out the lamp and brought up her cat to her room when she went to bed, you know. So it was, and Bumby was the one who set the fire, you know. So yeah, and I'm guessing these are supposed to be based on like her family, so her dad, Lizzie, and then her mum. The music echoes hints of happy birthday, while as his family above shoves the disgusting cake into the mouth holes of their. Bumby didn't just set the fire. Yeah, Bumby. This is supposed to be like blaming Alice for the fire when it wasn't her fault. But yeah, Bumby did more than just set the fire, because the fire was a cover-up. Bumby is disgusting. He really is. But yeah, this first section is supposed to be like representative of her grief, and let's see. Okay, this bit here. Then get a cutscene with the caterpillar. Just talking with the caterpillar, and then this is where we get the Vorpal blade. And then this is the end of the tutorial section. Oh wait, what's this? Her reverie is broken as Alice is set upon by ghoulish, faceless manifestations of the shadow. Alice lunges and slashes at the endless nightmares as they quickly swarm towards her. This serves as a basic opening tutorial for combat with the Vorpal blade until the player is quickly overrun. Okay, that looks sick. That's such a cool design. I like that. Before Alice can realize, a chapter closing cutscene plays. The lullaby reaches her ears and Alice faints. Her eyes rose to wide eyes. She falls in a gracious slump. Like a lifeless doll, she is lifted high into the air. Alice still clutches the blade tightly in her hand. Her sleeping body is pulled into the sky and towards the moon. The moon's massive eyes remained transfixed on Alice's tiny body as its horrible teeth, as large as tombstones from a glistening demon's smile. The scene then fades to black, and then they've got a moth dress, which I really like. I really like this dress. And yeah, this is where we get the Vorpal blade, which we had in Madness Returns, and I don't know if we had it in Alice because I didn't play Alice. I didn't play the original one. So yeah, pretty sure his first name is Angus, or rather was. Yeah, it is. I think it is Angus Bumby. Yeah. Expanded world lore, a mysterious dreamlike realm of shadows, a visceral blend of memory, darkness, familiar comforts, and fear. Erratic and dangerous, the landscape can morph in an instant. I think we did have the Varpal Blade in Alice. Okay. I should really play the original Alice. I should really play it at some point. Nothing is quite like what it seems here. The gateways between sanity and madness blur as the shells of war haunts and pursue Alice. Alice may unearth glimmers of truth in confronting her nightmares in this realm. Though it might appear futile, Alice knows she must escape. The only way out is through. Okay, and then we get to what I assume to be. We get to here, which I assume to be like the Mad Hatter's realm. I think we did have the. I just read that. But then we get chapter 2, which is the denial realm. The denial, which is denying what actually happens, I guess. So yeah. Meet with Mock Turtle. She has a bright yellow dress on, which I think I've seen. I think I've seen some of the concepts from this design Bible posted onto McGee's like Instagram and like Patreon and stuff. Not Patreon. I don't use Patreon, but you know, on his Instagram and Twitter and stuff. Let's see. But yeah, we've got. Let's see. With a shark shove, we play as a disorientated Alice, who begins her descent down the slide after the White Rabbit. The gleeful Mock Turtle follows closely behind as we weave through twists and turns, hurtling towards the ground. All around is a surreal, bright and garish circus world of tents, rides, carnivals, animals, performers. As far as the eye can see, Mock Turtle sings as the music plays. His lyrics explain, and then those are the lyrics there. Let's see. We've got some talking about balloons. This is where we kind of see Tweedle Dee and Dum. And then let's see. This is a really cool concept, actually. And then she still sees the moon in the sky, who I assume the moon is going to be kind of our main kind of metaphorical Wonderland enemy. Possibly like for like her grief or for her guilt. So yeah, and then this is our movement tutorial. So this looks really cool. I think this is a cool level. So yeah, and then yeah, we got a little fortune teller even. I've seen this dress on like posted on TikTok and like Twitter and stuff. This is probably one of my favorite dresses from what I've seen of Asylum. I think this is really cool. So yeah. Then we get unlocks basic wayfinding and a UI map. Clearly marking Alice's way forward towards mission objectives using her intuition. Ooh, got a map and stuff. And then we've got a little bit more here. I'm guessing this is supposed to be. What's it supposed to be? Like some sort of. Like based on her family home, I'm guessing. And ooh. Hard gated area, navigate the Liddell house. This is supposed to be based on her house. I'm guessing this is supposed to be someone based on either her dad or Bumby. And then this is supposed to be Alice and then Lizzie. Flashes of imagery to match the narration. Ghostly visage of Alice and Elizabeth, Alice's older sister, running around excitedly to extinguish all the lamps run past the player. A scene of a black gloved hand turning a key in a lock flashes. A horned-hoofed figure shrouded in darkness puts a trail of lamp oil down the corridor outside the family bedrooms, which is Bumby. As Alice follows, the doors repeat endlessly, and when she turns, Alice looks back to see a never-ending looping corridor. Yeah, that's supposed to be Bumby, and it describing Bumby as a horned hoof figure even makes me think of like kind of what's his name? Beelzebub, or like someone from hell, like Lucifer or whatever, you know, the devil. Or, you know, it reminds me of that quote. I don't remember who said it. I think it might have been like the like Queen, the Queen of Hearts, or like Red Queen, whoever the fuck it was. It was like Lizzie as the like Queen. I think it said no, it wasn't Lizzie. Who was it? I don't remember. But someone said that there's no centaurs in Oxford, right? So I think, is that like a callback to that, or is this supposed to be like a reference to like the devil or like demons kind of? So yeah, we've got a kind of burned out house. We've got some dolls here, which, you know, as kind of we said earlier, represented in the dollhouse, kind of represented the abuse that Bumby inflicted onto children. And then we've got some pictures from portraits here, which I'm supposed like these are family members. I don't think this would be like Alice's dad per se. This might be her mom. I'm not sure. So yeah. And then we've got some other pictures. So this is in the house, I think, or like in the orphanage, and then this is in the asylum. And then this is like probably when she got into hysteria. So the world morphs again, and Alice is in Rutledge Asylum. A flurry of brutal cutscenes play as Alice is beaten, cut, starved, and slammed into the floor and walls of her cell. As her ears ring, we see Alice erupt into a vicious hysteria. Her eyes turn pitch black. The scene zooms into a darkened depth of Alice's eyes, and as circus music invades. So this is kind of supposed to be her first time kind of experiencing the hysteria mode. So yeah, and then this is probably what she sees. Alice deserves better, because like she in Menace Returns, she kind of gets lobotomized. I think she gets lobotomized, didn't she? And then her world kind of like merges. And I don't know whether that's like whether she actually gets lobotomized, or like whether that's just a hallucination, because she does, it's like fine at the end of the game. But I don't know whether at the end of the game that's just Alice is fine, and like her kind of the world's merging into like Lunderland, right? Is that supposed to be her mental state healing, or like is that just like hallucinations or stuff or something as a way to cope with the fact that she just got lobotomized, you know? So so this is the like big top area in the denial realm. This is supposed to be, I'm guessing this is the first look at like the proper hysteria mode. Yeah, this looks really cool. And then everything goes like black and white. So yeah, that's really cool. And then we've got one of the Tweedle siblings, and then we've got what's his name? This is the Mock Turtle, and then we've got this guy, and then we've got this frog, and then we've got the White Rabbit. So yeah, and then we have over here defeat our first boss, kind of, I think, looks like it, in form of the Tweedle brothers, who have these clown outfits on, which makes sense because of reminds me of their like kind of, I think they had striped outfits on in Menace Returns. So then we've got a little look at hysteria mode over here and the attacks, and then we get another. Then we've got some more. Oh, this is another Then we get another outfit. This one's cool. This one's really cool. This one's really cool. I like it. I like it. I've not seen that one before. I like it. I like the clown aesthetic. I like it. And then I get the treble maker, which is kind of like a grapple of sorts. Which is pretty cool. When I first initially saw it, I was like, oh, is that going to be like a pepper gun 2.0? But no, it's like a grappling hook. And then I've got the Jack in the Box, which I know for a fact was a weapon in the original Alice. Okay. Is it just going to be like 3 weapons like in Madness Returns, or is it going to be more? I didn't get the stuff about the moon. This looks like... This kind of reminds me of the Hatter's Domain in Madness Returns and the train, kind of. The moon, originally thought to be a living thing, is revealed to be a massive mechanical construct of Hatter Industries. Yeah, makes sense. That's why it reminds me of the Hatter's Domain, because it's made by Hatter. Its interior is a labyrinth of corridors, walkways, machine rooms, gears, turbines, and steam pipes. This area serves as a tutorial for the Jack Bomb, both in combat and its destroying breakable walls to traverse. The whip is also introduced in spatial puzzles. It allows rapid, freeform rappelling. This new ability, coupled with advanced platforming in sections, trains the player in new movements with ledge grabs, swinging double jumps, and dress sliding, all used to progress, which is kind of an improvement from the parkour in the platforming in Madness Returns, because in Madness Returns, we just had like double jumps and like just the platforming, no grapple or anything. We got a huge mechanical heart. It's kind of mixing the idea of like, oh, the moon, we originally thought it was a living thing, but no, it's mechanical. And then this really reminds me of the teacup enemies in Madness Returns because of the big eye there. Is that going to be kind of like similar to that? Obviously not the same because it probably doesn't move around, but like kind of similar in how you defeat it by attacking the eye, you know. So yeah. Okay, what else is there? Okay, then we get Queen's Domain Chart puzzle section. Ooh, okay. And then the Mock Turtle. Master Manipulator, the friendliest foe. The Manipulator boss cycles through a variety of enemy NPC farms that Alice has encountered up to this point. Each requires a different strategy and or weapon to be defeated, sending the boss cycling to a new enemy as an NPC. Up until the Mock Turtle is left, so the Mock Turtle is going to be an enemy when he was originally like a friend in the last game, which kind of makes sense with how like kind of how these characters are like in the Alice games. Because I know in the original Alice, what's she called? The one who gives us the pepper grinder. What's she called? I know she was like a boss enemy in the original Alice, but then in Madness Returns she gives us the pepper grinder. And I think in Alice, again, this is just based on what I know. This is just based on what I know. This is just based on what I kind of know of Alice. I haven't played it, but I know I think the white rabbit, the white hair, was originally a friend in original Alice and then an enemy in Madness Returns, but I don't know. And then this is, iconic Alice dress with the boots. The boots are cool. I like the boots. Anything else? Got some enemy designs here. Got talking about the heart. The heart is a key item and is integral to the plot of Alice Asylum. While the purpose is initially shrouded in mystery to the player, the cards' properties are revealed in the later stages of the game. The heart and other key items were initially designed as pieces of the champion for Alice to collect. Once all the pieces were collected, they were capable of forming a powerful being. This was able to assist Alice in achieving her objectives. From a design and narrative perspective, we felt it removed the agency of Alice and importance of her own journey, and so these items were reworked significantly. Okay, this gives health bar increases and XP boosts. Ooh, we get leveling system, and then we get the Queen's Domain, which is the anger and judgment realm, and then we got the card guards, which have appeared in like both games previously. This looks really cool. I like this. We got the like kind of lava sap coming out of the trees, and like this tree kind of, I don't know if it was fully intentional, but like this looks like an eye here, and then it's like, this looks like it's like screaming and like kind of like spewing out blood, kind of screaming blood, you know. So yeah, is this supposed to be like a stealth section? As Alice wanders along, she witnesses a scene where card guards encounter a shadowy figure the same from the mirror. The shadow briefly appears surrounded by guards. This time the shadow's appearance is now distinctly more human, but still utterly broken and outwardly jagged. Before Alice can reply, the shadow locks its withered eyes with Alice, smiles, and then disappears in a plume of shadows. The shadow leaves behind a rather mass of black tentacles, the chaos, which attacks and then consumes the card guards. The mass of dark embracing flesh begins intruding through the hedge maze walls. Ooh, okay. I thought the card guards would just be like your regular enemy, but no, they are kind of victims of the anger and judgment. So, yeah. Then got this section here. Oh my god. This looks cool. This one looks especially cool, the infested one. And like, I quite like the skeleton one and the infested one especially. These ones are cool as fuck, man. What the fuck? Like, this is a better view of them. These look so cool. These look so cool. Okay. We play as Alice. Alice follows his insane giggling. A short game of hide and seek follows. Alice will locate the sounds of his stifled laughter, eventually cornering him. I knew it was like some form of like kind of stealth. I was on the right tracks. The Knave, that's what he's called. And then this looks like some sort of like something that would be used in like some sort of like lobotomy. And like it just kind of looked like his arm comes out of his chin there, but I think that's just like how it's drawn, because you can see here I don't think that is his arm coming out of his chin. So yeah, no, his arm doesn't come out of his chin. I don't know why it looks like that in the other illustration. Oh, we get the hobby horse as well, which is in Minus Returns. So yeah, I've seen this one. I like the hair, especially the red monarch dress. I like the hair especially, and her legs look like doll legs, which is interesting. But it also does make sense. It does kind of make sense because, like, you know, we got Alice, who was like, I don't think she was like abused by Bumby in the same way that Lizzie was, but like, she definitely was like kind of like manipulated by Bumby to kind of forget about the night of the fire, especially. So yeah, but we've got the hobby horse, and then we've got the courthouse, which is like, you know, which makes sense because, you know, you go to a court to get judged, right? You get judged for a crime. But yeah, a cutscene plays as Alice arrives in the courthouse steps. She curiously steps inside. As she does so, the Knave appears suddenly from behind Alice. His playing cards find in his fingers. The Knave doesn't look up to address Alice. It says it is as if he is expecting her. Okay. But yeah, this does make sense for a place that's based on anger and judgment for there to be a courthouse. So yeah, let's see, what else is there? Ooh. The area within the courthouse is a massive world of rules and law, constantly in a state of debate against itself, right and wrong, mess and order, law and disorder. Chess pieces scramble and scurry around here. Alice notices a mix of both white and red pieces, knights, peons, rooks, and bishops, muttering and hopping about the halls. They all point at Alice and begin whispering to one another. The word trial is increasingly heard from the jittery crowd of whispering chess pieces. They agree in unison within the spoken word, yes, a trial, then escalating shouts of trial, she must be made to stand trial for her crimes. Yells echo in the marble checkered halls. The doors from which Alice entered slams shut, and she is trapped, determined and unfettered. Alice pushes on. Ooh. I like this. This is cool. I like this. Oh yeah, there's a quote here. Lies, your system is corrupt. I've passed every test. There is no justice here. Guilty of being overly naive, innocent to a fault, curious beyond reason, and ultimately to blame for everything. Which, like, you know, she shouldn't be blamed for like not knowing what was going on when it was happening. You know, like what she shouldn't be blamed for not knowing that, like not knowing that Bobby was abusing people when she was like in his care, you know, and like especially when, you know, before then, you know. And we've got Inferno. What follows is the introduction and tutorial for the Inferno mechanic. As opposed to Hysteria, where Alice triggers the state automatically when her health is low. Inferno is a super meter that builds by chaining large combo hits and defeating enemies in repeated rapid succession. Inferno acts as a reward for highly skilled combat performance. The Inferno bar is sustained only through specific item pickups, or increased successfully via continued perfect combat execution. Once the bar is full, Alice can trigger the Inferno attack state at will whenever she chooses. And the ad is starting 5 minutes, by the way. When triggered, a special high damage fire-based burst attack is initiated, and then the Inferno bar will drain, allowing for a limited time super state. During this time, Alice has access to special buffs in combat and exploration for a short time. Each time Alice is hit, fails to dodge, or doesn't instigate a successful attack after a short amount of time, the Inferno bar will drop, eventually disappear if not used. Ooh, okay. And then we've got the Blind Judge, who is like kind of our boss for this stage. And oh my god, that's cool as fuck. I like all these enemy designs. All these enemy designs are like so fucking cool. And then we've got like the chess pieces here, which are so cool. I'll probably play a bit more Contexto like during the ad. But yeah, and then we'll get, after the ad is done, we'll get back to looking at this. And then we've kind of got some Alices here. Got Alice here. And then we've got the Red King, and then who I assume to be the Red Queen. And is this supposed to be Alice, or like is this supposed to be like Alice and Lizzie? Ooh, this is cool. This is a cool outfit. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of her hair being back, but yeah, to the image, to this one. What is it? I'm trying to imagine what this could be. Yeah, I assume I'm having this assumption of like, maybe this is like a manifestation of like either the two sides of Alice, and then or like Alice versus Lizzie, and then we see some like blood here. So I'm assuming that like one of these two has killed the Red Queen. Maybe. Is there any like note on this page? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like there's any like note on this page. Alice and Lizzie with Bumby and a possible romantic partner. I don't know. I don't think this is Bumby. I don't know who else this could be. Maybe this is like a new character. Maybe these two are new characters. Maybe this is like Alice's mum, maybe? But maybe like Alice's mum and like another character represented as like the Red King and Queen. Maybe it could be what he imagines himself as. True. But also, why would what Bumby imagines himself to be as be Alice's psyche, or it could be Alice's mum and dad? True. I'm trying to think. I mean, it could be Bumby and what like kind of like he presents himself as, rather. Family reunion. True. Could be a family reunion. Yeah, it could be either. I'm thinking it could be either Alice and then Lizzie, or then like kind of like the like two sides to Alice, kind of. Maybe, I don't know. But and then we've got this outfit here, which I think still is pretty cool. I'm still unsure on Alice's hair being back, but you know, I kind of fuck with it. And then we've got, ooh, this is some states for the Inferno mode, which I think is pretty cool. And then this is in the Asylum. You just got put into Contexto. This is in the Asylum. We've got the Rage level, got the Rage area. Yeah, this is in the Asylum. Bored again, yeah. Because they're kind of prepping her to be lobotomized, and that's Dinah there. Are they planning to like kill her in the Asylum? And then we got like, I don't remember this guy's name, but I know he's the like little family lawyer. And then we've got Bumby as well. Whose players Alice explores the corridors of the hospital, weaving a path that ends at Alice's room. Here we see our first glimpse of the family doctor and another family doctor. Oh, I thought it was the lawyer. And another one from Bumby and Redcliffe. Wait, wasn't Redcliffe the lawyer? And a telltale glimmer of Bumby's glasses in the darkness mimics those Alice saw in her past slumber encounters in her burning home. Alice encounters the younger memory of herself. The player watches as the memory of Alice is on her bed, seemingly unconscious. A shadow form violently shakes from within her small, unmoving body. Her face rising upwards in a ghost, ghastly scream. Voices are overheard. Ooh, okay. And then this is kind of the Wonderland version of Redcliffe is the liar. Yeah, I don't know why it says doctor there then. And then first glimpse of the family doctor and another unknown figure, Bumby and Redcliffe. I'm dumb. No. Bumby is the doctor because he's like a therapist. That's just me being dumb. Sorry, that's just me being dumb for a second. But this is like the Wonderland representation of the Asylum. And yeah, since we're in progress of like the ad, I'm gonna wait until the ad is over so like kind of everyone else can kind of advertisements, yeah, so that everyone else can kind of see what the rest of the design Bible has in store. So yeah, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna quickly do that and then just move this over for a second. Just so we can try and figure out this. Contexto, because we've had this one for an hour and we still haven't figured this out. So yeah, so chicken is the top one with pork, meat, beef, bacon, ham, eaten sandwich. Maybe it's like a chicken leg or like a chicken breast. What are the parts of a chicken? Chicken head. We already did head earlier. Chicken. What are meats? We got pheasant. Got Goose. What are names of meat? Let me think. Maybe it's not. How do you spell it? Vegetable. Maybe it's not like a type of meat. We've got vegetable. Maybe it's like a steak. Steak is close. Maybe it's a grilled steak or like a. Maybe it's grilled or maybe it's just a burger. Let me think. Grilled. Got cooked. Got bake. Bake is close. Maybe cake. Bake a cake. You bake cupcakes. You bake brownies. You bake pies. You bake. You make. Stuffing. That's how you spell it. Turkey. That's a word. Got bake, got cook, got grill, got what is it? Saute? Yeah. Is that how you spell it? Yeah. And welcome back from the ad. We still haven't figured out the Contexto, but that's fine. We're gonna get back into looking at the design Bible for Asylum. So yeah, and then this is more stuff regarding the Asylum. So yeah. Yeah, got more stuff of her in the Asylum. Of her life in the Asylum. And then we've got some croquet level. I'm not gonna read through a lot of the text. No. But yeah, we've got a bit of a croquet area, we've got some fish. Yeah, this is definitely where we'll probably meet like a queen or something. So yeah, and then we've got a mine here. Oh. Local quick work is done, let's go. Welcome back, Saya. We're also looking through the Alice Asylum design Bible, because why not? And we've got the croquet mallet, which is another weapon, which is I assume it's going to be a long range weapon. Looks like it looks like to be a long range weapon. Initially when I saw it, I thought it was going to be similar to the hobby horse in a way. But no, it actually looks like it's going to be a long croquet mallet. I missed it. Yeah, it was in the original. Oh shit, it was, yeah. But yeah, this looks like it to be a long range weapon where you hit a croquet ball and then the croquet ball will then hit the enemy. So yeah. Ooh. And then we've got this here. Well, I'm guessing this is just where we'll be defeating a bunch of the card guards and the chess pieces. So yeah. And then this looks very similar to the front of the Inferno train. So yeah, but this is actually the Queen's castle. But yeah. This looks so cool. I guess this looks to be kind of similar to the castle we see in Mando's Returns. Inferno Castle, yeah. It looks to be kind of like a mishmash kind of the Inferno train and the castle from Mando's Returns, just based on the fact that this thing here is very similar. You can't even see it because of my PNG tuber, but that heart thing there looks to be very similar to something that's in like a part of the design for the Inferno for the castle even in Mando's Returns. So yeah, that looks very cool. Oh my god, this is giving teacup vibes in just the way that it looks. Looks like it's gonna move around. That looks cool. Onion skin, like human skin, yeah, kind of, yeah. And then we got a corrupted card guard. Oh, And we've got this guy who's our boss for the level. It peels and it's slightly see-through. Yeah, this is our. Guessing this is our boss for the level. The choir leader. Okay. And then we get more see through the castle. That is the executioner. Yeah, the executioner. He's back. Yeah, he is indestructible. I must be avoiding our win in a high horror evasion section of gameplay. However, he can be stunned, and clever use of surroundings and available abilities will help to throw him off your trail. As the shadow's corruption takes hold of the executioner, the fiend will become increasingly erratic and wild, resulting in direct confrontation. He attacks in wide sweeping attacks of his side and can move with giant strides in pursuit of Alice. I'm so glad that we're going to be having a bit more like interaction with the executioner, because we had like one sequence with the executioner where we ran through the castle and then we kind of stomped on him. But yeah, he is kind of indestructible. Oh, and then this is how we defeat the executioner, by like pushing him down a well. Hey, okay. Oh my god. Okay. The dungeons. Oh, and this is kind of like this reminds me. This is kind of like the what's it called? That one painting where all the stairs are kind of like going off in like illogical directions. You know what I mean? And then we've got kind of like some more designs for the card guards and the executioner, which look really cool. Which, look very steampunky. We've got more designs of the castle. You can just got the link to the, if you want to have a better look of the design Bible than what I'm showing you here, you can just search up American McGee. You can just look up like Alice Asylum Design Bible, and then the first link should be a link to American McGee's Patreon, and you're just able to download it there for free. So yeah, and we got Clockwork and Asylum variants. This one, Scrapers, still are statues. We sprint to left if they are touched, attack, or if Alice makes enough noise to rouse them into aggression. Then they kind of like interact in the kind of act in a similar way to the Doom Duckies from Dark Deception. Initially, when I saw hey, they'll wear those statues, I was thinking, oh, are they going to be another Weeping Angel situation? But no, they look like to be slightly different from Weeping Angels, and kind of like the Doom Duckies from Dark Deception, where if you walk by them or you walk too close to them, then they just spring to life and then they start chasing you. So yeah, I'm assuming they probably just have a very similar like AI pretty much to that, like work very similarly to that. This is cool. I like this. And then is this supposed to be like an infernal Alice? Let's see. The Child of Fire. Oh. Child of Fire, Alice, and the Shadow will engage in a conversation as a precursor to a confrontation. The cinematic exchange takes place as follows. You can have a look at all the dialogue in the Design Bible if you want. I'm not going to go through all the dialogue because that would take up so long. I started this whole Asylum lookup for my rate. We did start this whole Asylum lookup just because you rated it and said you were playing Mando's Returns. But I'm enjoying it. Because I've never had a complete look at the Design Bible before. And even though this is only really like a quick look at the entire Design Bible, because I'm not going through like every piece of dialogue, I'm not going through every bit of text, it's still cool to have a look at like what Asylum would have looked like if it was a thing. And we got the Contexto. It was Clam. I did not even see that. So yeah. Okay, I'll put on the next game of Contexto for you guys if you want to play that. So yeah. So I'll start it off. I'll start it off with Hero. There we go. There we go. Okay. More look at Asylum. Okay. Oh, this is like the entire castle going up into flames, pretty much. With Alice's Inferno mode. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Turning to face the newly formed chaos creature from the body of the child fire, Alice is faced with a grotesque manifestation of suffering. The player's combat encounter begins between Alice and the chaos-consumed child of fire. The chaos creature is a formidable opponent, a mini-boss capable of extending long chain-like tentacles. You're using them for both attack, defense, and rapid spider-like movement. The chains also lash out and instantly transform other nearby NPCs that pour in from the dungeons into ferocious chaos creatures. Ends with a final chain lashing out to consume Alice before it can strike Alice. Alice's plush rabbit jumps out in front of the strike as his body takes a blow. Chaos begins to consume the rabbit. Okay. And then, but the throne room. Queen of Hearts. This is the Queen of Hearts, and then we're here with, we've got Alice. We've got the Knave as well. Okay. And then this is the Queen of Hearts, who's our proper boss for this level, because we had the mini boss in form of the City. We got City and Crowd as our closest for the Contexto. But yeah, got the Queen of Hearts as our proper boss, and then we on to the guild level. So we got Alice, we got the Knave, we got her plush rabbit. Alice fights against the Queen, with the Knave fighting alongside Alice. They both engage the Queen and battle against waves of card guards that enter the arena. The Knave acts as an NPC support character using razor-sharp playing cards as a shuriken-styled projectiles. Alice and the Knave will alternate roles, either breaking the Queen's grasp on the other if they become restrained in tentacles, or actively attacking the Queen and the card guards that enter the arena. So is this just going to be traditional combat, or so the Knave is our ally? Yeah, I assume so. I assume in this combat counter either maybe is like there's going to be like a turn-based combat for this fight, or is it going to be like where we switch roles? So at one point we're playing as Alice, one point we're playing as the Knave, or is it just going to be like the Knave is just like we're not going to play as the Knave ever? And then we've got this is a memory of Alice, and then who's this? Is this Lizzie? We've got Lizzie and Alice. Alice is very young. Lizzie is laughing with Alice as they both held hands, spinning together in the family living room. As they spin again, Alice fumbles her step and trips, knocking over a porcelain tea set. It shatters on the ground, and Alice cuts her knee badly on the broken white shards as the two hit the ground. Crying, Alice does not know what to do. She squirms, watching the strange liquid cascade from her wound. Okay. And then we've got the mum, like, kind of being like, hey, don't do that again. Just like after your rooms, just like go off to your rooms. And she like kind of like takes care of the wound for Alice. So yeah, and then we've got this like kind of church here of a baptism, and then a witch burning, what it looks to be, with the caterpillar here. Attend the funeral. Oh, it's a funeral. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, this is like the dead, kind of like a dead Queen of Hearts then. Here. Oh my god. Kind of makes her look like really like kind of not mechanical per se, but kind of like Poppy help us. Okay. But like one of those like wooden mechanical dolls almost. Okay. Stage. That's not how you spell band. Crowd, team, band, hard, traffic, city, concert, live, show, performance. People. Large, like a large amount of people. Seats. Stand, like you stand at a concert. You've got like the pit as well. Got like the mosh pit. Crowd. Like crowd control. Stand. JoJo's reference. You are obsessed with JoJo. But you know what? That's fine because I see Ace Attorney references in like everything. Crowd and duck. Maybe okay, you did chicken. Crowd duck, like duck under something? What do you think? Crowd. You crowd around stuff. You work around a crowd. Your crowds usually have barriers and security. Let's see. Killer Queen the third bomb bites the dust. Okay, crowd and duck. I'm gonna put in like random words and hope that they somehow relate. This does seem to be like, you know, kind of in a stage band setting. So yeah, I'm just gonna think of stuff that kind of would be related to the crowd at a concert. Oh, water. Liquid maybe? Drink? Maybe alcohol? Water. You drink water, they come in plastic bottles. So we've got the sea. It wants to play this way. Yeah, it wants to play this way. I don't know. Water. It's gonna be like something stupid, like an orca or like a whale, or like a jellyfish, or like a school of fish. You know, it's gonna be something stupid like that. Rain. Thunder? How is crowd related to thunder? Huh? I'm confused. Thunder, exactly! I'm as confused as you are! What the fuck? Huh? I'm very confused at that. Well, under 100 is nice. Yeah, under 100 guesses is nice. Okay. You guys, you can look at the start of the next game for us. I'm going through more of the design Bible. Oh, this is a cute dress. I love this one. Huh? Chair too? That was your first fucking guess. Huh? That was your first guess and you got it too. Huh? Is it gonna be like table? Like wood or like a chair leg? Huh? I'm still baffled at that. That baffles me. That absolutely baffles me. Okay. More design Bible. Time. Okay, that is the wrong thing. One thing. Okay, but yeah, like I was saying, This is a really cool. That's a really cool dress. And ooh, who's that? Give me my info. Hard doors. In the hard doors. We will pause and smell Alice exits the castle through the open doorway. As she turns to wave goodbye to the knave, we watch as a shadow appears behind the knave. The shadow waves back to Alice. Just as the door closes, Alice reaches out in shock to warn her ally, but he is swiftly torn apart. Blood flies. The last thing ripped apart is Samaya. Alice screams as the door slams shut. She quickly opens the door back up again, but is only met with an empty frame. Oh, okay. I got the play cards, which is another ranged weapon, and I know for definite it was in the original as well. And then we've got the chaos map, which is the bargaining realm, and is on our way to the Hatter's domain, which makes a lot of sense because we've got big clock there, lot of chaos. Makes sense for it to be on our way to the Hatter's realm. This looks so cool. What the fuck? Got the Cheshire Cat here. Makes sense he's being in the Chaos Realm. And it was desk. Makes sense, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then this is our design for the Cheshire Cat in a Asylum. This looks so cool. This looks actually so cool. Okay. What's the deal with the cat? He gives hints, hidden dialogue exchanges, and background world lore. Or just straight as asked. Our possibility with the Cheshire Cat. That makes sense. Because that was kind of like him in Minus Returns. He was kind of just like extremely just like sassy, and it was just kind of giving us a bit of hint on like a bit of lore on what's going on. This looks so cool. Got a little like kind of foresty area in the chaos place, in the chaos map. Ooh. We also got the underwater area, which obviously reminds me of the underwater area in Madness Returns. Okay. This is kind of a bit of a concept of what it was planned out to be like. Yeah. They've got the staircases again. Objection! Objection. Thanks for the objection, nature. Okay. Yeah, we've got a little bit of a concept of what the chaos map is going to be like. And we've got the dormouse as well. We've got the Cheshire Cat's lair. Ooh. Got, his face on the door. Bit of an ego, but like, whatever, I guess. And then we've got this dress. I've seen no dress in a while. This one looks cool. This one looks really cool. Kind of gives me kind of like furnace vibes in a way, because it's kind of like grey. It's kind of I've got like kind of heat resistant gloves, I'm guessing. Got fire. And then I've got a chessboard, which isn't relevant. Chessboard pinafore, which isn't relevant, but like still looks cool. Still looks cool nonetheless. Oh my god. As the obstacle lowers, leading Alice to a swirling gyroscopic compass surrounded by stars. Oh. As Alice reaches out her hand to hold the compass, previously unseen hints are drawn on the environment around Alice. And the first and our word was cloud. Let's go. Okay, next game. Let's go. While she looks around clasping it, whispers are heard. Hours fade into view, and crudely sketched etchings, arcane astrological symbols, I lost where I am now, and ghostly riddled way-finding markers appear in the environment. The ability is key to finding secrets and hidden passageways. By using it, a new hidden path is revealed. The impassable now becomes passable. From hundreds of doors, the right one is revealed. The area serves as a tutorial for this new ability. Alice continues to follow the whispers of her inner compass. This way, that way. Successfully navigating the remainder of the area. The compass is golden and points true. Holding it within her hands and realizing that following others is not always the correct way to solve her problems. Alice now, instead chooses to focus within and focus her own path. She must trust herself. And thank you for the first Kango. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. We're playing a bit of Contexto and looking at the Alice Asylum design Bible. So, yeah. We went off on a bit of a tangent because Nature raided in and said he was playing Alice Minus Returns. And then we just started rambling on about the American McGee Alice franchise. And then that's how we got onto looking at the design Bible. Which, to be fair, is extremely cool. And that in the background looks to be... my pronouns are she, they. Okay, no problem. Sorry about that, Nature. But yeah, as they raided in, we started talking about American McGee's Alice, and that's how we got onto rambling on about the design Bible for Asylum. So yeah, but it looks like we're almost at the Hatter's Domain, and we've got the teacup enemies now, which I remember being a bit of a pain in Madness Returns to like defeat, but like they weren't that bad, to be fair. I've also been here playing Mirror's Edge the whole time I've been here. Jesus Christ, multitasking, oh my god, multitasking. But yeah, we've got the teacup enemies which have returned from Madness Returns, but have a bit of a design change, because I remember in Madness Returns they were kind of like all golden and very like kind of had a bit more of a complex design, but now they kind of like look more porcelain. So yeah, and here we are at the Hatter's workshop with the Hatter himself. He's cleaned up his look a little bit from Madness Returns. Okay. And then this is him, I'm guessing, talking through his like teacup design or something. Important plot points. I'm not reading all that. It's too late for that. Then we've got the Queen of Hearts, I'm guessing. With like kind of creating the Mad Hatter. Oh no, a scene of the Queen threatening the Hatter with destroying his mind plays. Okay. And then we get taken on across, kind of taken across the Mad Hatter's domain, which, you know, this looks very similar to how it was in Madness Returns, with a very kind of steampunky kind of aesthetic, but also kind of mixing in kind of, you know, got a bit of porcelain, which kind of, you know, isn't something I would expect in a kind of steampunk land with a lot of teacups. You know, I'd expect kind of the design from Madness Returns to crop over, but like, then, you know, I kind of like it. I kind of like the porcelain mixed in with like the gold and like the whatever other materials here, like the, what is it, copper or something. And kind of got like a bit more of a mystical vibe, like kind of inside some of the buildings, which kind of makes sense. That like outside it's going to be very steampunky, then inside it's going to be a bit more mystical. Kind of like with the Mad Hatter, I always think of like, you know, kind of a bit of chaos. So like obviously there's going to be a bit of chaos between like the inside and the interior and the exterior, you know. And then we've got, these are some of the important items, so we kind of read through the heart earlier, but we still need to look for the eyes and brain. But yeah, got those. And yeah, we've got this tea set. We've got another long-ranged weapon. Jesus, there's going to be a lot of weapons in this game. And then we've got the March Hare. That's what his name was, the March Hare. And with our new design, guessing, you know, he didn't really get killed off in Madness Returns. I'm still so pissed that, like, we didn't get that boss battle in Madness Returns at the end of Hatter's Domain. Because basically, what was supposed to happen is that at the end of Hatter's Domain, we were supposed to have a boss battle against the March Hare and the Dormouse, right? But that just never ended up happening. Because apparently there was some sort of like time constraints with EA. EA was being pissy with the time constraints. And I was like, oh, you gotta whittle down your game. So unfortunately, the boss battle ended up getting cut, and it just was like replaced instead with a cutscene. So yeah, so even though like the game isn't even that long, it's like what, 15 hours? It's not that long of a game if you think about it. Like I think Cabernet, one of my favorite games at the moment, is a little bit longer. It took me probably at least 16 hours to play Cabernet. So yeah, 15 hours, not that long. I mean, would that have been long? Would that have been a long game in 2010? Not really, I don't think, because there's probably a lot of games that were released in the 2010s that were longer. Like, you know, like Skyrim or something, you know? Ooh, got a bit of a cave section. We've got a mining area, got like the mine. We've got the dormouse. Yeah, I'm finding his traps. Ooh, okay, yeah, he didn't die either. But yeah, it makes sense that he's kind of like in a mine operation. He does seem kind of like a very like machine kind of focused guy. So like he would be in the mines using his machines to kind of extract materials for new machines. So yeah, and then we've got another. I'm guessing this is another memory section. Oh, this kind of like the way. Obviously got a few butterflies here. Don't ask to make big games longer. Don't fix what needs to be broken. True. But I'm sorry, that's a JoJo reference. Okay, fair. But also like, I do wish that we had that one boss fight. We did have that one boss fight. That's a JoJo reference. I'm not joking. But I do wish we had that one boss fight in Madness Returns. Oh, is this Madness Returns? This is the design bible for Alice Asylum, which was the planned sequel to, which is the planned third game in the American Mingy's Alice trilogy. Madness Returns was the second game, and yeah, unfortunately, it ended up like not getting picked up by EA. I can't even really say it got cancelled because it never even got picked up by EA in the first place. So yeah. Oh, how I love Alice. I've only played the second game, but I loved it. Stupid EA. EA, big slanderer of EA. EA/neck, real. That is the realest shit. Yeah, big slanderer of EA. Because basically, if you search up Leon Abichacho writing good posts, I will eventually. But basically, the first it's the same pose. Wait a minute. I'm searching this up. Leon Abichacho fighting good pose. Kinda is the same pose, yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, basically, if you don't know what happened with kind of Alice and EA, from my basic understanding of what happened, basically, the original Alice, that's a JoJo's reference. Yeah, but it is kind of a similar pose, isn't it? But what basically happened is, from what I understand, is that the original Alice and Madness Returns was made by a company called Was it? Is it called Rusty Horse? I think it's called Rusty Horse. I think it was called Rusty Horse. Or something along those lines. The usual that happens with EA, they'll be stingy. Real. Was it called Rusty Horse? I'm pretty sure it was called Rusty Horse. I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna look this up. Spicy Horse, that's what it's called. Not Rusty Horse, Spicy Horse. It was originally made by Spicy Horse, and then I think it was funded. I think the games were funded or like partially created with EA, and so both companies had the rights. And President, say here you got the number one word, which was president. So yeah, I'm gonna start this game for you guys. But yeah, so basically, it was either Spicy Horse created the two games in collaboration with EA, or EA just funded the games. But basically, both companies had rights to the game, right? Had like partial rights to the game. But the thing is, Spicy Horse disbanded like a while ago, like not too long after, probably a few years after. I'm not sure. It was like a little while after, probably a few years, like a little while after Midas Returns released. And so kind of the rights just kind of defaulted to EA. And basically a few years ago, American McGee, who was like the original guy he was like the original face of the Alice franchise. He was the one who kind of pitched the idea, I think, and was kind of like the main guy who was like helping to make these games. And basically he was like trying to pitch Asylum to EA, and he had, made the design bible. He was getting some funding from like Patreon and stuff. Basically what happened was like EA was just being stingy. They were just like, no, fuck off, we're not gonna make another one. But also EA then didn't want to release the rights to American McGee, so that American McGee could then go find another company to then, like help him make the game. So yeah, the rights are still with, from my understanding, the rights are still with EA, which is stupid because the thing is, even though I know Alice and Alice Madness Returns are what was I gonna say? And the first one was movie, going by, say it. Okay, let's go. Next game. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the thing is, now, like, EA probably doesn't make too much money off of Alice and Alice Madness Returns, at least compared to like The Sims and FIFA, right? No difference in how EA ruined BioWare games. Real as shit. But yeah, they probably don't make that much money off of Alice and Madness Returns compared to, like, the other games they have, FIFA, The Sims, how many people have actually, there's probably a lot of people that have actually bought every single Sims 4 expansion pack, which is, over £1,000, so yeah, they, like, if they're getting like £1,000, like, if they're getting like up to £1,000 per Sims player, then that's a lot of money. But yeah, they could probably deal with not having that little bit of money they get from the Alice games by releasing the rights. But yeah, it's just stupid that they're just like holding on to the rights but also not wanting to make another game. So yeah, I want to spend so much money on the Sims games. I have spent a bit of money on the Sims games. I have never bought my own Sims 4 packs because basically my Sims 4 game is on my dad's EA account. Because I'm one of those loser adults that still lives at their parents. But yeah, he got me Sims 4 like 10 years ago. And like almost 10 years ago. Nothing on the Sims 4, that's because they went backwards a bit. Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, Sims 4, my dad got it for me like 10 years ago. Like almost 10 years ago. And so the game's on his... I think he got it before I got my Steam account, and like before... I don't know if this was before Sims was on Steam. I don't know when Sims got put on Steam. Yeah. So Sims is on his EA account, and like he's just gotten me Sims 4 packs, every so often whenever it's been like Christmas or my birthday or whatever. So yeah. And then I bought Sims 3 like 3 years ago, because that was the first Sims game I ever got. Because my dad got me Sims 3 as like my first Sims game, because at that point when I was younger, my computer couldn't run Sims 4, so he was just like, do you want Sims 3 instead? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then 3 years ago I was like, you know what, let's buy Sims 3 again for a little bit of nostalgia. And I bought Sims 3 on Steam, and I bought it all. I think I have six Sims 3 packs. I really want to buy some more Sims 3 packs eventually though. But I don't know which ones to buy. I know I am tempted to get the like Explorer pack and like the Island Paradise ones. I'm not gonna lie, I am tempted to get packs, or the kind of equivalent packs that I have for Sims 4 in the Sims 3. For example, I have Generations for the Sims 3, and I have Parenthood for Sims 4. I have pets in the Sims 3. I have pets in the Sims 4. Kind of get what I mean? So yeah, and I'm tempted to get the like kind of jungle adventure one, even though I don't have the kind of I don't know have the jungle adventure one or whatever it's called for Sims 4. But I am tempted to get the jungle adventure one for Sims 3 because it kind of looks like some fun gameplay. But yeah, I might get the like kind of Island Paradise one, because I have what's it called? What's it called? It's the pack that comes with Sulani and like mermaids in Sims 4. So yeah. And this is definitely a reference to the "There's no centaurs in Oxford" line from Mando's Returns. So yeah. And Saya got the word. It is snow. Okay. Next game for you guys while I continue to ramble on about this game. And this is the orphanage. That I'm assuming that I know it is kind of World Explorers, yeah, or something like that. Yeah, World Explorers. Yeah. I am tempted to get that one. Because I remember watching a video a few years ago when the Jungle Explorers, World Explorers, when that pack came out on Sims 4 for Sims 4, and I remember being like, that would be such fun gameplay. I would love that pack. So I might get that pack for the Sims 3. The only reason I haven't bought it yet is because I'm kind of holding off on buying it because it does have, I think that one does have mixed reviews on Steam. So I'm like, should I buy it, or is it going to be a waste of money, or should I just wait for a sale? You know, World Adventures. Yes, that's what it's called. Yeah, that is what it's called. Yeah. I'm tempted to get that one. But from like generally interacting with the Sims community when that pack came out, and like compared to the mixed reviews on Steam, the Sims 4 version does have like slightly better reviews than the Those seem to have slightly better reviews than the Sims 3 version, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I might see whenever there is sale, maybe once I come back off holiday and when there's like another sale, I might buy it. So yeah. To be fair, there's a sale like decently often. So yeah. Ooh, okay. This is supposed to be based on the lawyer, and it seems like he's got coins coming out of like the side. So it's like, you know, and he's got the coin bags. It's like so this kind of like, is this form supposed to be based off the kind of phrases, you know, made of money and like kind of bleeding money, you know? He's kind of bleeding money into like whatever kind of, is he going to be involved in Bumby schemes? Bleeding money into like Bumby schemes. So yeah. And then we've got his dollmaker farm again. Which is fine. I would love like a more extended version of the boss battle from Manos Returns, because I remember in Manos Returns, when I was doing that boss battle, it only took me like 10 minutes, and I was slightly disappointed with how short it felt. So yeah. I've got almost all the expansions for The Sims 3. I know so much the stuff packs, but the actual expansions I've got probably 10 or more. Yeah, I want to try and get kind of as many of the expansion packs as possible. Because yeah, I feel like I would really enjoy it, and like the Sims 3 packs tend to always have like a decent amount of content in them. So yeah, and I am kind of skimming through these next little pages, because we've got like another 100 pages, and I'm probably going to be ending stream like in the next like half an hour or so, because I usually end stream like after like 2.5 hours. So yeah, and like a lot of these are just like illustrations. So yeah. Ooh, we got Teapot Cannon. I think the Teapot Cannon was in Manos Returns. I don't know if it was in the original Alice, but I know it was in Manos Returns. So yeah. Ooh, Plaything. Oh, I mean, it makes sense why it's called that because of Bumby, but like yeah. I'm guessing this is supposed to be like a part where boss battle 8. Okay, I guess this is supposed to be like kind of this next like kind of half of the game. It's gonna be like, oh, kind of the depression realm. This is kind of like supposed to be like, you know, Alice is kind of like confronted a little bit more with like what happened, you know, you know, during the fire and kind of while she was at the orphanage, you know. So yeah. And we're kind of in like a Lunderland section, you know, mix of London and Wonderland, because I remember seeing this kind of teapot water tower in at the end of Manos Returns especially, you know. So yeah, and this is kind of, I'm guessing this is kind of Alice trying to stop like the orphans getting like sold off. So yeah. Arriving in the steps of Houndstitch Home for Wayward Children, we witness a memory wherein Alice is confronted by Redcliffe with a platoon of policemen. Okay. Yeah, and then we've got like the Tree of Memory. Kind of, yeah, this is kind of supposed to be where like Alice kind of being confronted with the memories of like kind of everything that's happened, you know, kind of in her life since the fire, you know. So yeah. Let us see. Ooh. Kind of a twisted, like kind of human, kind of tree-ish kind of design. Veil of Tears. Ooh, okay. Kind of an updated design for that. I've seen this dress. I've seen this dress before as well. This is supposed to be Alice. This is who we saw before, and who were kind of theorizing. Oh, is it Alice? Is it two Alices? Is it Alice and Lizzie? But no, it's two Alices. In different directions, Alice's doubt begins to turn to understanding. Beneath the waves of her torment, Alice's mind races to steady the sails and brave the coming storm, adapting and changing. Alice's attire reflects the nature of someone becoming one with the self. You will, yet still with no inner peace inside. Okay. And now we're on to kind of like the bargaining realm. So she's kind of like slowly kind of like coming to terms with what's happening, but like not really. She's like, oh no, she's kind of coming to terms with what's actually happened, but not really. And then she kind of goes back to the Veil of Tears, kind of back into the depression realm. So yeah, this kind of all kind of expands on what we kind of saw in Madness Returns. And this is who I was talking about before. What's she called? The Duchess, who was like an enemy in the original Alice, and then helps us in Madness Returns. But yeah, she's kind of like going back between the different stages, because it isn't really, linear. Alice's eyes open with a gasp. Darkness turns into light piercing from the canopy of the Veil of Tears. Alice has washed up downstream on the riverbank. Calm water laps on at the edge as she splutters and pulls herself to her feet. She has arrived in front of an odd cottage emblazoned with pig effigies. The Duchess's cottage is surrounded by its own bubble of influence. Time flows freely here. Pigs squeal announcing Alice's arrival, and the Duchess fiercely guides her cottage from within. Freshly dug graves marked with hooves, snouts and coattails are everywhere. The cottage resembles a mausoleum, a place of death and mourning, and some pigs' bodies are in open coffins. As Alice approaches, a cutscene plays. So this is the Duchess in kind of mourning clothes, and the ad is starting in 5 minutes, by the way. And kind of, it looks like the pigs are kind of like wearing like baby cut clothes, or like clothes like you would typically see in like Victorian or where, or like kind of 1800s England, or like kind of very young children wearing. And kind of in Madness Returns, I remember we had to. The Duchess is like, oh, I need pig or like bacon for like pork for something, and then we had to shoot pig snouts. Is that kind of like, is she kind of going against us again based on that? Maybe she kind of regret what she told us, and it was like, hey, those were like actual pigs, not like just pig snouts, So we've got a boss battle even against the Duchess and her pigs. They're plump around and childish. Yeah, kind of what I was saying. They're like, kind of in baby clothes. They're kind of like the Duchess's children. Clumsy in their movements, they roll onto their backs when defeated, kicking and squealing hopelessly. The Duchess attacks with a massive iron cleaver from outside the cottage and into the kitchen. The fight rages on. Once the Duchess is disarmed, Alice has her knife point. The cutscene begins. The Duchess begins crying after the fight, not because of the fight, but because of what she has lost, which is like her pig children, I guess. The Duchess explains to Alice that tears are restorative. Crying helps, yeah. Alice needs to collect tears from the purest source of them within the Veil of Tears and bring them back to the kitchen. The Duchess can then cook them into a potion to restore time to the Veil. Okay. And then we've got kind of blood here, kind of signifying, have some pigs been like kind of murdered? And then we've got, this is the Veil of Tears, our veil that we saw in Madness Returns. Then we've got, you know, our fact we're in our, what's his name, Radcliffe's office. We're viewing from Wonderland. Ooh, screams of horror. A horrible amalgamation of the chaos emerges from the shadows on the desk, lurching and squealing, scorching forward. The gigantic mass reaches out from Radcliffe's office and engulfs the memory of Alice. Her scream is quickly silenced as Alice turns to run. The hallway shakes as the shapeless monster pursues relentlessly. Alice desperately tries to escape, but is caught violently in its fleshy grip. Alice falls under a massive fleshy mass and is horribly crushed. The scene and halls fall apart. And this kind of reminds me of that one girl from Miss Peregrine's with like the mouth at the back of her head. So yeah, maybe that was like a bit of an inspiration. And then at first this kind of reminded me of The Wizard of Oz, because I thought here kind of looks like I thought initially that this was like a golden path, but no, it's just some mushrooms. And like, it's just how it's coloured. So yeah. And then I've got the Crystal Tears. Talk about the Crystal Tears. Wonderland Woods. Oh, this is cool. Got a massive art of Alice with her vorpal blades. In the Wonderland Woods with the Cheshire Cat in the back. We also got the pepper grinder, which was, yeah, this is kind of giving. It's kind of maybe they got a bit of inspiration from Oz. This does kind of look like a golden path here. Or maybe I'm just reaching. Maybe this is just a bit of whimsy and fun. You know, maybe that's just a bit of whimsy. You know, in the thing. What's got Bill McGill? Who is this? Mysterious Warlord. Bill McGill the Wizard. I clearly need to reread some. I clearly need to read some more Alice in Wonderland stuff. Are these enemies slightly based on Tweedledee and Tweedledum? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know my Alice in Wonderland lore good enough to recognise this character, and the end is starting soon. And as before, we're gonna take a quick break from looking at the design Bible. We have about 70 pages left. I'm gonna quickly have a little bit of a skim through, but for now we're gonna play a bit of Contexto for the next 3 minutes before we get back into actually, you know, looking at the design Bible. So yeah. I needed a massive fucking drink after, you know, yapping. So yeah. Okay. So our top 5 words are swan, pigeon, parrot, dove, and heron. So maybe just something kind of vague. Feather, bird, swan. So maybe, did we do goose or geese? Swans can swim. Swans, is it swans or geese? They're owned by the royal family. I don't remember. But yeah, let's maybe do flight. We did already do fly. Swan, pigeon, parrot, dove, heron. I don't know that many birds. Maybe penguin? Or like chicken? Like chick. Maybe hen or rooster? Rooster's pretty close. Maybe eggs. They lay eggs, don't they? They make nests. That's not how you spell nests. They can be like white or grey. What else? It's gonna be like a type of bird, but I don't know my birds. Maybe raven. Like crow. Crow's close. Is it Is it a group of crows is called a murder? Can we not do murder? Isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a group of crows. No. Is it a group of crows that's called a murder, or is it a group of ravens? They could be, crows are usually black. They kind of hang around in graveyards. Huh. They hang around in graves. Huh. Let me think. Think. I don't know. Crow. What else? What other birds are there? Like an ostrich? Ostrich is closer. Maybe a rhea? No, okay, rheas aren't close. Oh, say I already did rhea. What else could it be? Ostrich, crow, swan, pigeon, parrot, rooster, dove, heron. It's gonna be like a big bird then. I'm not good with birds. Like at all. I am not good with birds. Hello chat, welcome back from the ad. We have two new words, at least at the top. We've got ostrich and crow. It's gonna be a bird, a type of bird, which I'm not good with. I'm not good with types of birds. So I'm gonna have a look through the design Bible instead. Oh, ice wand. Holy shit, how many weapons are we gonna get in this game? Jesus, that is cool though. I've got an ice bow as well. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit, this is badass. This is kind of badass. I love this art. I love this art here. And energy speeds down, then frosted once damaged, time shield met. Oh, does this mean that the ice is like less effective the further away, I guess in? Ooh, the cataclysm. So London is kind of getting like flooded. Okay, and kind of destroyed in like Wonderland, and like the underwater area is kind of merging with merging with London, which makes sense because now we've got the carpenter who was in the underwater area last time, and then we've just got the corrupted, so London residents that have become corrupted in Wonderland. So yeah, and then we've got more dolls here and kind of like stitched together hands, kind of like what no, I was gonna say Bulby, but no, that's a psychologist. No, Bumby, what kind of Bumby was doing with the kids, with the children, with the orphans. So yeah, finally arriving at the home for wayward children, the building sits upon its own floating island with the wrecked remains of the nearby neighborhood dangling and floating in the surrounding air. The lower levels of the building are flooded while the upper level is on fire. Ghostly visages. I'm so used to calling it visages because of the game Visage. Of the children continue to sing, dance, and play inside the area, oblivious to the chaos around them. The building design forces Alice to enter through a sub-basement area and fight her way up to kind of like in a sewers area, kind of. This area is flooded and pools of water contain spectral hands that reach out to drown Alice at every turn. So kind of like bring her, kind of like souls of the children, kind of bringing her into the afterlife, kind of. Here she finds the valve and turns it, causing the water to drain away. And this blocks her ability to exit via the way she came, so she continues upward. Into the main floors of the building, Alice passes orphans, caretakers, and adults in scenes from the past. Attempted adoptions, children playing games. Attempted adoptions because I keep calling him Bulby. No, Bumby. Bumby was like, Bumby probably did not want these children to get adopted into actually living homes. He wanted to, sell them to the crude and criminal underground, because that probably made more money for him, and kind of, he did not want to get exposed for the manipulation he was doing to these children, The second floor of the building leading to Bumby's office is on fire. Alice navigates and fights her way through this to arrive at the door of Bumby's office. Entering Bumby's office triggers a flashback. And here we are with a bunch of dolls, probably reminiscent of all the children he's kind of used. And yeah, he is kind of represented by a centaur. Which I don't know why. I'm not sure why he's represented by a centaur of all things. Let me look up centaur mythology really quickly. Let me see. A centaur, occasionally hippo centaur, also called, I don't know how to pronounce that. So it's a creature from Greek mythology with the upper body of a human and the lower body and legs of a horse that was said to live in the mountains of Thessaly. Give me a bit of mythology. What is this? What is it? Why is he kind of represented by a centaur? Let's see. Mythology. The centaurs were usually said to have been born of Ixion and Nephili. As the story goes, Nephili was a cloud made into the likeness of Hera in a plot to trick Ixion into revealing his lust for Hera to Zeus. Okay. Ixion seduced Nephili, and from that relationship, centaurs were created. Another version, however, makes them children of Centaurus, a man who mated with the Magnesian mares. Centaurus was either himself the son of Ixion and Nephili, or of Apollo and the nymph Stilbe. In the latter version of the story, Centaurus' twin brother was Laptheus, ancestor of Lapis. Okay, that kind of makes sense then, because he was because even though centaurs were made out of lust, it kind of makes sense then for Bumby to be then represented by a centaur, because then he's selling children to very lustful adults, these fucking weirdos, so yeah. Let's see. Let's see. The centaur's half-human, half-horse composition has led many writers to treat them as liminal beings caught between the two natures they embody in contrasting myths. They are both the embodiment of untamed nature as their battle with the Lipifs, and conversely teachers like Chiron, which kind of makes sense because we got this we've got Bumby acting as the therapist and trying to treat these trying to treat these orphans, but obviously he's then how do I phrase this, I guess it's in human nature to want to forget bad memories, so he's trying to have these children give him to their nature of hey, how about you just forget this and go back to being this blank slate, because this was very much from what I know of psychology, this was very much a like from like the start of kind of psychology, this was like when like kind of psychology kind of started to evolve and separate itself from philosophy. The kind of there's a very common like theory. I don't remember what it's called off the life of me, but it was basically there's this very common like kind of theory, like kind of stating like that kind of we all start from blank slates and kind of our personality and our thought processes kind of develop based on like kind of our environment, right? Like kind of our and like our like kind of like what's it called? Kind of like our like kind of internal wants and needs are kind of based off kind of our environment. So kind of maybe that's what Bumby did not have any association with this like whole blank slate nonsense, because I don't think he was even born when philosophy and psychology kind of separated. But from what I remember, from what I can kind of theorize, maybe Bumby wanted them to be this kind of blank slate, so then like the like kind of the children's environments could then shape them into being kind of like these kind of like mindless kind of like just be kind of like to kind of shape them into being like subservient to who they were being sold to, basically. So yeah, that's what I remember, by the way, of the whole blank slate stuff, and from what I've been taught at uni. If I got any of that wrong, please feel free to correct me. But that's what I remember. And it looks like, oh yeah, we've got the corrupted in this level, which makes sense because they're like corrupted Londoners. Because at this point, London and Wonderland have kind of merged together in a sense. So yeah, and at this point in stage, we're looking at trying to go to Radcliffe's office, and then we've got a Alice opens the pages to find bills of sale, pages and pages of sad photos of children with their names, monetary sale worth, defining features, and the names of the buyers. Each child is numbered and listed like livestock. As Alice reacts in horror to the truth, understandably, she watches as she is surrounded again by numbered dolls. They do not dance, they do not sing, they only stare. As Alice walks towards them, the dolls recoil, cry, and run away and hide, which is like kind of Bumby treats the children like dolls, kind of like, oh, he can change them however he wants, basically, and kind of like sell them off without a care in the world, you know, and kind of treat them as like this kind of mindless thing with no autonomy of their own, which is like, yeah, at this point in history, kind of they didn't have a lot of autonomy, you know, like children didn't really have a lot of autonomy in the past. So yeah, they just kind of had to go along with what kind of like their caregivers kind of wanted, you know. So yeah, there was really, I don't think there was a lot of protection for children around this time in the 1800s. So yeah, I think this is set around the 1800s. Anyway. And then we've got the Jabberwock, which hasn't been seen since Alice, since it kind of has been seen, because in the original Alice game, it was killed by Alice, and then I think it was its skeleton that was seen in the Vale of Tears in Madame Returns. So yeah, and we've got these two massive pages of art, showing the kind of fight with the Jabberwocky on this like massive kind of clock with all the these are like the zodiac symbols. I think that one is mine. Fun fact, I think that one's Pisces, and I think is that an Aquarius? I think that was Aquarius. And then I'm not sure what the other ones are. Then we've got some more art with the fight of the Jabberwocky. This one says "Welcome home, Alice," and that's the end. But yeah, we've got kind of a mechanical Jabberwock. So this kind of like is this a Jabberwocky that's kind of like recreated by like maybe the Mad Hatter maybe. So yeah, then we've got this icy. We've got the truth now. This is kind of like, you know, truth can be cool. Truth isn't there to kind of like hold your hand. The truth is the truth, you know. And then we've got the Queen of Hearts again. Even after we killed her, even after Alice kills her earlier on in the game. So yeah, to be fair, Wonderland is a bit of nonsense. Who's this supposed to be? Leanne Little. So this is supposed to be Alice's mum. As like the Red Queen or like the Queen of Hearts. The Queen's skin begins to peel away, falling aside, split from the base of her crown down her body. Her flabby, disgusting skin gracefully sheds like a hollow cocoon. And then it's revealed, oh, this is actually Alice's mum. And then we got Arthur Little, who is like one of the, who's supposed to be like the someone that he's just hidden in there, like encased in hair. And yeah, it's kind of like Alice kind of trying to embrace the truth of like, oh, this is like the last time she's gonna ever see her parents in her subconscious, because they're not here to kind of like protect her anymore, you know. And we've got a little bit more on the Mad Hatter and the Hatter's Domain, and then the Shadow. Again, I've not read all the text, and I'm just kind of skimming through. The pictures now, and like the illustrations now. I wonder, would the Shadow kind of represent like since the kind of Shadow has been kind of like a antagonistic force, it seems. It was supposed to be a kind of antagonistic force in Asylum. Was this supposed to kind of represent like kind of Alice's like fear of like finding out the truth, and like kind of wanting to, and Alice kind of wanted to, after getting out of after, you know, kind of killing Bumby in Madness Returns, is this supposed to be kind of like, oh, Alice does not want to come to terms with what happened, and does not want to come to terms with like the fact that like this is probably still going on, because I'm pretty sure Radcliffe is still alive in Madness Returns. I mean, we did kind of kill him, like on our way to kill him now, but is the Shadow kind of like representing like kind of maybe like either Alice's like kind of inner kind of, because there's time to die using the Umbral Scythe, which the Shadow uses. So maybe it's like, oh, maybe it's either Alice's inner desire to kind of cope in an unhealthy way by just going around and like killing everyone in who was involved, which is fair enough, because there was not a lot of, I don't think there was a lot of repercussions in the 1800s for people who were involved in this stuff. Or like, is the Shadow kind of like supposed to represent like Alice not wanting to face the truth of what actually happened, and kind of, or like she wants to kind of like be pissed at everything, stay pissed at everything instead of moving through the other stages of grief, you know? I wonder kind of how, I know there is a fan game going around on, I know there is someone trying to do a fan game on TikTok, so I wonder how they interpret this. With Alice's inner light consumed, all that remains is darkness. With Alice Liddell's shadow fully in control, her unbridled havoc and rage, it is kind of like, oh, she wants to continue to be angry all the time about what happened, even though she, like, you know, it's kind of unhealthy to stay in that kind of anger stage. It's unleashed on her own mind, attacking everything that makes her who she is. The shadow will not stop until all is consumed by the darkness within. Yes, this is kind of like, oh, she wants to continue to be angry at everything, even though that's not, like, healthy. She can't stay in that forever, because then if she continues to be angry at everything, then she can't move on, you know? And then she can't, like, kind of move on and continue to help the children who were affected by Bumpy, you know, and Radcliffe. So yeah. No, I really like this dress. That's a cool dress. Okay. And then this is kind of like, and then this is supposed to be her mum, and then Alice as well. Okay, let's see. And then kind of Alice is trying to converse with her shadow side, and kind of like accept that side of her, but also kind of, like, you know, not suppress her anger by any means, but also like making sure it kind of like does not go unchecked, you know. Shadow self accepts the other self. So yeah, in this design Bible, that is not a JoJo reference. Sadly, not a JoJo reference. But yeah, this shadow self has been kind of supposed to kind of haunt Alice throughout Asylum. So yeah, then we've got Angela Radcliffe, who is Radcliffe's daughter, I'm guessing. Let's see. Is there any more information about Angela here? Doesn't look like it. Let's see. Alice, Radcliffe and Angela become involved in a heated and bitter confrontation. Radcliffe assumes the upper hand as he continues to torment his current and former ward. But it's a reference to the entire Persona series. To awaken a persona in any Persona game, you must accept your other self, your shadow self. Jesus Christ. And then kind of Alice is like, fuck you for being involved with this shit, you know. Then we've got like a Blind Justice. Alice in Otherlands. This is the like final level, and we've got like another like 30 pages to have a look through. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, these are cool. These look so cool. I love all these illustrations. Mask of Greed, the core of Radcliffe, because yeah, he just wants kind of something like his, but yeah, seems like he just kind of wants like the money side of it. He just does not care. He does not give a shit about. I think Radcliffe is the main villain. Radcliffe and kind of like, yeah, it seems like Radcliffe is like the main villain of this story. We had Bombay be the like main villain of Madam's Return. So yeah, it seems like Radcliffe is like the main villain of this story, because he seems to be kind of, yeah, he was kind of he was involved with Bombay according to this design Bible. So yeah. So yeah, let's see. So this is her London attire, her kind of updated look for London. Still looking a bit like kind of worn down, and it's kind of like similar shirt, similar pinafore, but like a different skirt. So yeah, and then Alice takes in Angela, renames her to Angela Liddell, instead of Radcliffe, and yeah, we've got some stuff on the endings. Yeah, it looks like she now takes over the home for wayward children, which I do remember kind of McGee talking about how kind of Alice would kind of take over the house for wayward children, and like kind of try and take care of the orphans and try and be kind of like this, like try and be better than what like the try and be like better than what, you know, Bumblebee was. So the Queen of Hearts is the main villain of the series. Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah. So we've got what's this supposed to be? Rumbling his way through his manor, the brute slams open door after door. Eventually, he finds young Edward. As he slams open the door, a shrill, guttural gasp of fear escapes from the Lord. Rain continues to fall on the windows. Edward is sitting on the floor playing with a small plush rabbit. Alice sits on the floor and she has her back to the disgusting intruder. Thunder and lightning crackles as the scene flashes in the light. Bumblebee is second, so it makes sense. Radcliffe would be... The Queen of Hearts is the main villain of the first game. Bumblebee is second, so it makes sense Radcliffe would be the third. Yeah. I need a drink. Just give me a second. But it makes sense for Radcliffe to be the second because he did seem kind of like, you know, just a bit corrupt in Mando's Returns. Obviously, we didn't see much of him in Mando's Returns, but obviously from what we've seen in this design Bible, obviously Radcliffe was working with Bumblebee. Radcliffe only cared about the money, so of course he would be the kind of main villain of this story. And this seems to be like maybe someone who was like who was trying to buy that the Edward kid, or like maybe his dad. I mean, fair money is money, but also like, you know, he shouldn't have been, you know, selling kids. You know, he should have been like participating in selling kids. Oh, I like that outfit. I really like this one, and I'm assuming you mean this one. Yeah, this one is cool. This one is pretty cool. All the tentacles and stuff. The Shadows Fall one. This one, yeah. This one is cool. With all the tentacles and stuff, it's like, oh, Alice has kind of embraced her dark side. Her like kind of has embraced her anger, basically, but also does not let it fully consume her with, you know, the white pinafore in front, you know? Yeah. It's very cool. Yeah, it is cool. Yeah. And then these last few were supposed to be talking about other content which you can get from like Patreon and stuff. We've got American McGee, who obviously worked on it. We had Alex Crowley, and Omri Koresh. Then we had Joey Zhang, Norman Felche, Adam Narozanski, Dario Marzadori, Gareth Keenan, and then Jennifer Daw. And yeah, we just got a little bit of extra artwork. It's such a shame that this game did not get made. I didn't have the original team working on it, but I'm sure it's in good hands with the fan creators. The person on TikTok who's working on the fan game. So yeah. Because from what I've seen, I can't remember what they're called. I'll have to check in a second. I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, it seems Um, but yeah, it seems they're doing really well so far. So yeah, so yeah, um, so yeah. If you do want to have a look at this design Bible for yourself and truly go through it, it is still up on American McGee's. It's still up on American McGee's Patreon. There's still a lot there's a lot on American McGee's Patreon that is there, and I might as well delete that window capture because I don't need it anymore. Can I? There we go. Yes, remove window capture 4. But I don't need that window capture anymore. But there's still a lot of stuff on American McGee's Patreon, including that design Bible if you want to have a look for yourself. Obviously, I did not go through like all the dialogue and stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah, anyways, let's get this Contexto game done. I want to give us a hint, just cause we're like 50 minutes in. Koala. It's gonna be like koala bear, or like marsupial. How do you spell it? How do you spell marsupial? There we go, marsupial. What's it gonna be? Is it gonna be like a panda? But yeah, I am so pissed that Asylum, the Alice Asylum never got made. Oh yeah, I was gonna check the fan game. Who was making the fan game? But yeah, I'm sure it's in good hands with whoever is making it. And let me see, Alice Asylum. Let me spell it. Alice Asylum. Henry Giveras. That is the person who is working on the. That is the person who is working on the Alice Asylum fan game. So yeah. I'm gonna give us another hint. Kangaroo. Is this gonna be like Australia animals? Like spider. Is this just gonna be Australian animals? What's in Australia? Like a cockroach? I don't know Australian animals. I'm looking this up. I'm looking up Australian animals. Australian animals. Kangaroos. The platypus is apparently Australian. Echidnas. I'm just typing in random ones because I'm trying to guess it. Wombats. Oh yeah, the dingo. It was a wombat, everybody. It was a wombat. Okay, everybody. End of stream. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna end stream here. Hope you guys have enjoyed. As I did say kind of earlier this stream, and kind of what it said in the going live notification that you would got. This is like I sent the PDF file to my friend. Cool, yeah, you should definitely have a look through it because it is so cool. But as I said earlier, I cannot stream until September because my dad's working, because I still live with my parents. I just accidentally so maybe unfollow. Thank you for the refollow, nature. But yeah, as I did say, my dad's working away. I still live with my parents, right? So my dad's working away for the next week and a half. So I'm just gonna stay at my mum's for then, And then I'm going on holiday on the 30th. So there'll be no more streams until September. No more streams until September. So yeah. So I shall see you. It's gonna be, my next stream is probably gonna be either on the 4th or the 7th. So yeah, just look out when I'm streaming. I'm gonna post it like on like Twitter and Blue Sky mainly. Twitter and Blue Sky are like my main platforms where I post stream updates. No, don't leave us. Leave us. Hey, it's only gonna be like for like what, 2.5 weeks. It's only gonna be like for like 2 weeks. Then I'll be back in 2 weeks. Okay. I'm not leaving you guys forever. It's only gonna be for like 2 weeks. Okay. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. But yeah, it's only for 2 weeks, and then I'll be back. But yeah, I'll still have other content going out. I'll still have stuff being posted on TikTok and Instagram and on YouTube. My VOD from Monday is going out tomorrow, and my VOD from this stream is going to go out on Thursday on the main channel. So if you want other content, if you want like stream content, go on my YouTube, because that's where I have posted the majority of my Twitch VODs. So you can go and like watch a bunch of those. Don't worry, I will be back in 2 weeks. Don't worry, I'll be back in like 2 weeks. So yeah, I will post it everywhere that I'm gonna return, when I'm gonna return. So yeah, I shall see you guys in 2 weeks. And yeah, as always, my other socials are in my Twitch commands about me section and the description on YouTube if you are watching over there. She loves the Supernatural, so she'd love the Game Bible. I bet she would. The Game Bible is great. Make sure my friend reads this PDF. And check out the other content. I haven't checked out all the other content on Maggie's Patreon yet. But yeah, there's a lot of other content on the Patreon as well. So yeah, go have a look at that. But yeah, I'm gonna go right out. So yeah. Who should we raid? Let's see. Mushroom is playing a bit of Yoshi's Island. So yeah, Mushroom Gravy is playing a bit of Yoshi's Island. So yeah, so let me send out this raid command. Yeah, go enjoy Mushroom stream, and yeah, I shall see you guys in 2 weeks. And as always, as I just said, there's other content that's going out on like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. So I'm not completely disappearing away from social media, just from Twitch. I'm just disappearing from Twitch for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, bye guys, bye guys.